Hello and welcome to February's Better Business webinar, where we are going to be looking at how to make 2026 your best year yet. So no matter how good or bad last year was, this year is going to be better. So here's the plan. Here's what I plan to do in my business, because as well as being a coach for accountants, I also run Minerva Accountants. So I'm just going to pull up some slides. So I'm nothing if not practical. I want to present a practical roadmap for you to follow. So we're going to start off, we're going to look at the current landscape, good, bad, ugly. We're going to do a health check on your own firm. And then I'm going to go through 5 levers for your own business and then come up with a 90-day plan. Okay, it's hugely ambitious for a 30-minute webinar, but let's give it a go. So the landscape, regulatory changes, there's lots happening this year. Technical changes, yes, and market changes as well. So let's look at the regulatory highlights. We've got Companies House reform, the ACSP requirements, so all our director and PSCs for our limited companies need to register and prove their ID. And of course, this was supposed to happen by the 18th of November. And if you're anything like us, a quarter of ours hadn't done it by that point, in spite of sending out 3 reminders. So we're still chasing them in each time we need to do a confirmation statement. So we need that for confirmation statements. And then it was due to be March, I think it was, that it would be required to submit accounts. You'd need accountants, bookkeepers, whoever submits accounts to Companies House would need to be registered ACSP from that time. That has been postponed, so it's going to be on the card. So if you're not registered ACSP, it costs you a 50 quid registration fee, even if, like us, you don't intend to use it to prove client IDs, then you need to be registered. So get on and do that. So that's Companies House. And I, just before I went on the call, received an email from Companies House to say that something else has broken again. They've had real tech challenges. I'm sure the developers will be hearing about that. But in the meantime, no matter what the cause, we have to deal with the consequences. That's Companies House. MTD is coming in this year from April. So I've been speaking on MTD, I think 2016 was the first talk I gave to accountants on MTD. So that's happening from the 1st of April. So if you like, there's a previous webinar that I've done on MTD for accountants and bookkeepers. I can send you the link just right in the chat. In fact, yeah, do it on Facebook. I'll see the messages on Facebook. Better if you want a copy of the MTD event that I did for the group. So that's coming in. You should have triaged your clients. You should have them on the right software. You should have them knowing they have to do up-to-date bookkeeping. I'm doing a webinar for my own clients on the 4th of March to go through that. I've spoken to them all individually, those who are coming in for 2026 and 2027, but I still need them to just know what's going on. So I'm doing a webinar for that. I'm doing loads of webinars on MTD. They're a good marketing tool as well. So I've done some free of charge up to now, and now we're up to the last minute. I'm starting to charge for them. So it's free of charge for my clients, and other people are paying £120, including VAT, because I'm VAT registered. But it's up to you. If you feel confident to speak on that or to write on it, whatever, use it to bring the business in. And the other thing is we have increased taxes. Businesses have, going back to MTD, don't forget the overlap period. We have got a 10-month period where you're trying to do the 2025-26 tax returns on the annual basis and do the quarterly returns for 2026-27. So if you haven't already sorted yourselves out, it's a little bit late, but you could be working very long hours if you haven't already got your clients on board and fairly organized. But get yourselves a plan for that and get on top of chase those clients to get last year's information in at the same time as you're doing the quarterly returns for this year. Increased taxes, they are hitting. We have the 25% corporation tax rate we've had for a while now. Smaller businesses, we're getting them to pay into their pensions if they don't need the money now, so that they come down to the 19% tax rate. We've got employers' taxes, we've gone sky high. We've got the dividend taxes are higher this year as well for 26-27. They are 10.25 anyway. They're higher. We have taken opportunity of this. So each week we send our clients a tax tip, and I just recycle them, and some of them I freshen up and some of them are pretty much the same as I worked through last year. So we have a weekly tax tip. The idea when I get time, when I've got my makeup on, is just to record those as 1-minute tax videos, which can go on social media. So it's useful for clients, and then reusing the same material in order as my marketing. We're also releasing our tax calculator, which will be free to business owners. And if accountants want to white label it with their own branding to use the marketing tool as well, then contact me. What else are we doing? Oh dear, I'm going so fast, I'm skipping. Tech has come in. It's also changed client expectations. So we are being challenged to justify our value over and above the stuff that free AI can do. Well, we all know that AI is pretty appalling. I managed to avoid a 4-letter word there. And so we need to be adding the AI and tech stuff behind the scenes, so we're benefiting from the efficiency, and then we put the human face on, the human judgment, the human interactions, in order to show that is the huge benefit to the client. So they're getting the AI benefits through us, and they also have a friendly face to explain it to them. But one thing they're expecting is real-time data, which is where MTD helps, because MTD means that even smaller businesses need to keep up-to-date records. So if you're a bookkeeper, great, you're providing up-to-date records. We do a little bit of bookkeeping in-house, and usually we try to do that monthly, even though they effectively pay us for quarterly, but we try to do that monthly to keep on top of things. We now need to try and move that to weekly for some of our accountants, some of our business clients, so that they have up-to-date information, because we've encouraged them to use up-to-date business information. So they have higher expectations. But having that up-to-date information allows us to be a bit more proactive. So we are doing bookkeeping health checks for clients who do their own bookkeeping. So you can just use something like Xenon Connect software. Again, there's a demo from Gareth of Xenon Connect in the group. Let me know if you want to do that, to see that, and that will produce a score which encourages our clients to strive harder for up-to-date bookkeeping and better quality bookkeeping, because that increases their score. So we're starting a leaderboard for our clients as well. I'm not quite sure how successful that will be. I'm not a gamer, but apparently some people are, and they like that sort of thing. So with up-to-date information, and we've got the Xenon Connect, and then we can have a bit more proactive support with that. And there's huge opportunity for small firms, because that technology allows us to do what the big boys have been doing for years. And I think we're a lot better at the human side. So marketing changes. ICAW do a quarterly business confidence monitor. It is absolutely bottoming out, the lowest it's been for years. The main reason for that is the increased taxes, which I've already mentioned. Also, amongst our own clients, we are seeing a lot who they made it through COVID, maybe invested their own savings as well to get through, took out big loans, and then just about getting back on their feet post-COVID, and the cost of living crisis hit, and a lot of them are winding up, or at least they'd like to, but they can't because of outstanding bounce back loans. So we're making a lot of referrals to insolvency practitioners at the moment. So we've got Kevin Ross, who's in the group, who gives a lot of advice, is my go-to for these. We're also winding up some businesses because they've got over 25,000. So again, it's worth going through an insolvency practitioner to get that out at the most tax effective way. Economic recovery. We've had 14 years of austerity following the 2008 crash and recession, austerity, COVID, cost of living crisis. There's a lot has happened in those 14 years. I believe the current government are doing most of the right things. They're not perfect by any means. They are putting things in place, but it will take a long time. So I believe that the economy will recover, and it's sort of, depending on the statistics you look at, it may or may not be turning that corner now. So by the end of the year, I think things will be looking very different. In the meantime, we just need to remember that we're grown-ups. We're not looking for quick wins. We are looking for sustainable economic recovery. So patience and help our clients. So all the stuff you've been doing, I've got a whole load of stuff that I use whenever there's a financial crisis to pull out. Oh yeah, let's pull out all the tools. So, you know, we had the 2008 recession, then we had COVID. So I brought out the same tools, rebadged it a little bit, tweaked it a bit. And then we have cost of living crisis. So take the same tools, rebadge them, tweak them a little bit. So we should have those tools. If you don't build them now, because there will be something else around the corner. Okay, so let's go to where you are on your health check, your own practice now. So look at your capacity. Do you have enough capacity? Do you need to be recruiting? Do you need to be supplementing your team with AI? Do you need to be delegating more? I know there are a lot of individual practitioners, solo practitioners in the group who don't like to delegate because they believe nobody is as good as them. That might be true, but I suspect it's highly unlikely. Personally, I have no problem finding people who are better than me and can do things better than me, but that's just me. So check your capacity. Check your own profitability. Keep an eye on that. We're currently on day 3 of our 5-day challenge to find £10,000 in your practice, and I have found £29,000 so far in mine. I'm a flipping business coach who coaches others to do this well, and I've still found £29,000. So guess what I'm working on for the next few months. Check your client mix. We need the right mix of clients, and my client mix won't be the same as yours. So we want the right clients for your business. Every February we do the client triage, A through to D, looking at profitability, looking at how easy they are to deal with, looking at how quickly they pay, do they refer other people to us, and how often do they ask for just one more thing that we forget to bill, especially and actually it's on the nice clients, the ones you think are your A clients. Actually, there's probably a fair bit that you do that just one thing free of charge that perhaps you should be charging for. So watch out for that even on your A clients. Workflow bottlenecks. I'm always the bottleneck in our business when it comes to reviewing accounts that go out. I don't do that many sets of accounts myself, but I do review every set of accounts that goes out. I am the bottleneck, but there's other stuff that we can get rid of with automation and with delegation. So look at your bottlenecks and see what action there is. And actually, if I recruited another chartered accountant, I could get them reviewing some of the stuff that goes out because they will be at the right level for a chartered accountancy firm. So make sure you go through your own business, find your starting position for what's effectively the start of 2026 as you emerge from the fogs of tax year end. And then I want you tracking every single month the 3 numbers that matter. I want your profit per client. I want your profit per hour, because it's very easy to run a more profitable practice by working twice as many hours, but that's no good for you because you burn out. And your capacity utilization. So how busy are you and your team? How much chargeable time do you have? So let's get rid of that non-chargeable time. Either get rid of it altogether, delegate it, automate it, whatever. So our 2026 success framework, we have 5 levers we can work on. So lever 1, we need smarter client selection. And again, what's a good client for me isn't necessarily a good client for you, and vice versa. So work out who are your ideal clients, their typical traits, and also look for red flags. I want you to be able to spot these. So you want your ideal clients because you focus all your marketing on them. When I wrote the numbers business, I had 2 people in mind. And so if you've read the numbers business and it spoke to you, you are probably one of those 2 people. And if it didn't speak to you, like the lovely Amazon review I got, in spite of the blurb saying it's for people setting up their business, one of the lovely lots of feedback, and I think it was my only 1-star review is, yeah, it's all very well, but it's no good if you've already set up your practice and you're not a newbie. Yeah, well, there'll always be somebody who doesn't read the instructions. So we want your ideal clients, so your marketing is really precise and incisive and speaking to their pain points and how you can help. We want the red flags so that when you do have those discovery calls, you can weed out those poor fit clients at that point and don't waste your time onboarding them and a couple of months down the line find out they're absolutely rubbish for you. And you can reshape there's a typo on that slide, how to reshape your client base. So what we do is we deal with our D clients every February, so that's done. But also for me, for 2026, I'm happy with the size of my practice at the moment. I've got a trainee, I'm trying to get trained up so that I can then grow the practice a bit more. I'm not interested in growing at this point. So what I'm doing, I'm churning my clients. So as well as having got rid of the D clients, every time I take on a new A client, I'm offloading a C client. That means I get better turnover, I get a better fit client, better profitability, and free up more of my time. And we don't just ditch our C clients, we don't just ditch our D clients, we nurture them, hand them over to another smaller accountant for whom those are their B or C clients. So look after them on the way out. So we do a dealing with D clients webinar. I don't know if there's one in the group, but it's certainly one of the webinars that I run each year. So keep an eye on the events, sign up for that, or let me know and I can give you a link for that. Lever 2, pricing for value. Why small firms underprice? Generally, it's a confidence thing. And this is where the pricing software comes in, because it gives you the confidence. Any rejection is based on the software price. It doesn't feel personal. So by all means, spend your money on pricing software, or you can do what I do. I have a pricing spreadsheet so that while I'm on the discovery call, I can do the pricing. And in that meeting, I can ask, give them the price, and then you say, how does that sound? And wait. And they will come back to you with, oh yeah, that sounds about right. That's what I was thinking of. Or, oh, that's a bit expensive. So if it's great, and then you say, okay, so shall I send you out the proposal now? And then all you have to do is click online and we'll get everything set up for you. So we use Bright Manager, and the onboarding on there is pretty slick. That and my fabulous business manager, Kate. So if it's a yes, you go ahead. If it's a pricing's too, the price is too high, you get an opportunity to deal with it then in that discussion. You don't lower the price. We don't discount just for the sake of it. We know what we're worth. Thank you very much. And so we are able to look at, okay, so how about we take out this, and that brings the price down. So, and sometimes they're just looking for 50p a year, and you're never going to beat it. But yeah, don't just reduce your prices. It's just a race to the bottom. There is always somebody who will do it cheaper. That's not to say they'll do a good job, but they'll claim to. So simple pricing upgrades. Our engagement letter has in, there will be an annual increase. And the 1st of March, I will send out an email to everybody saying, increase for this year will be, it's going to be 5% across the board. So for any work done after the 1st of April, the price will be an extra 5% over and above last year. Those on annual agreements, it will be effective, their renewal after the 1st of April. So when those recurring repeat invoices come to the end of their 12-month period, I pick them up and just redo them with a 5% increase. And it's the same every year. And you don't have to explain why it's higher. Does your insurance company tell you why they're putting on a 5, 10, 15% increase? No, they just tell you it's going to go up. Your software company tells you it's going to go up. We just take it. We expect an annual increase. So do the same, simple, no need to justify yourself. There is, of course, as you might expect, a pricing webinar, and there's also a small pricing course that you can pay for. So the pricing webinar in the group is free, and that is, there's a recorded one somewhere if you want that. The pricing course goes in a bit more depth, and so that's payable. Lever 3, workflow and automation wins. So we need to look at where to automate first. And so I would look at all your repeating processes. Because if you do it a lot, a small change can lead to big savings. So go through your list of repeating processes. Is it your onboarding? Is it your chasing records for your year end? Is it getting authorization at year end? Is it this, that, and the other? And I've said automation. It could just be a delegation. I do you're probably already on the list for our weekly top tips for accountants, bookkeepers. If not, why not? And that used to take me 2 hours to get out, and I was supposed to do it once a month, and 2 hours was just too much hassle and often didn't get done. So now I have software, and I have Kate. Oh, and Kate's one of the other admins in the group as well, so you'll come across her every now and again. So I spend about 20 minutes writing that content each week, and I just put it on a Word document, and then that's usually on a Thursday, and then on Friday, Saturday, Kate comes along and just proofreads it for me, and then she turns it into the flow. So for us, that doesn't save money. It allows me to do it weekly, whereas I wasn't even managing to do it monthly before. So it's much more effective marketing. And we do them weekly, so that means it's short and sweet each week. It's not one of those long, draining things. If anybody wants content for their own social media and blogs, then we can provide, we do a standard pack of a monthly blog for you that you can send out as is. You can edit it, you can top a tail and add whatever you like with it. Lever 4, advisory made simple. So this isn't the big consulting. We're not charging huge amounts. We are looking for easy advisory touch points, and we find them. So if you're doing annual accounts, just go through. We have a 10-point checklist to look for, even for those small clients who only have annual accounts. So we check that we're doing the right things. We also use Clarity HQ, which is a good way of systemizing your advisory stuff. If you want to know more, there's my Changing the Numbers book, and we also do a one-day Changing the Numbers course for those getting into advisory, so we can go through what advisory is, what a typical session looks like for us. So I am a qualified business coach, so I do coaching, but I also do the business advisory for our clients. Lever 5, and in some ways it's the most important, it's your capacity and well-being. So we need to make sure you avoid burnout, which is why we make sure we are focusing on that profit per hour, so that you're not tempted to do double the number of hours just to double your profit. So avoiding burnout, which means you need to be setting boundaries and build a sustainable rhythm into your year looking forward. So we do our 90-day planning session, ours is tomorrow, and I sit down with the team and we go through, what we did last quarter, but it's also, I just flood ideas, and then poor Kate turns them into our 90-day action plan, something that's actually achievable, and then she nags me to make sure that I do them, because even though I know what to do, I don't always prioritize getting it done. So Kate is also my accountability, which is why we run 90-day planning sessions for clients, so that they get out of their own way and actually do something, because they've got somebody external will be checking in. And that's sort of the principle of our monthly coaching as well. Somebody else is checking in what you are going to do. Christine has asked about recommendations on automating engagement letters. We use Bright Manager, which includes the engagement letter in there in various templates. There is Socket as well that does that for you. Some of the pricing apps have engagement letters as either part of it or as an extra, but we use those that are included in Bright Manager. So although I moan and grumble about Bright Manager, it does a lot of good, and it's still the best one for our business. So 90-day action plan. You can either join us for one of our 90-day action planning sessions, or you can come up with this yourself. So we want the one big thing you're going to do this quarter. One, because you're busy doing the day-to-day of your business. And then we want 3 supporting priorities. And then we're breaking that down into weekly habits that drive that momentum. What are you going to do every week to get that done? So your one big thing, your 3 supporting priorities, and then weekly habits to drive that momentum. So I am trying to get back into using the Pomodoro method for my own work efficiency. And I'm also trying to do some daily exercise. If that's a 30-minute walk on the treadmill or a 10-minute dumbbell session, it doesn't have to be a full-blown thing, but something every day, because I've got really lax over the winter. And I'm also, another winter thing, I need to make sure I get outside every day. So that's my 3 things at the moment to support my that's my 3 weekly habits I'm working through at the moment, trying to do my exercise, my Pomodoro, and my going outside, because they will make for a better business. So sometimes looking after yourself leads you to a better business. We've hit the half-hour mark, so I'm going to go through quick winding up. So we've looked at the current landscape. We've looked at 3 KPIs you need to be tracking, 5 levers to make that happen, and a 90-day action plan. I've also talked through how we can help to make 2026 your best year yet. You need to be intentional about it. So set your plan, you do this with clients all the time. So be intentional, be selective about what you're going to do. You can't do everything, even though I have a huge list of things that I want to do. And that's where Kate slaps me back into line and keeps it something reasonable. And you need to be tech enabled. So looking at AI that's actually useful in your business, technology that's worth paying for. And I know if you're down at the small end, some of the tech isn't worth paying for, but some of it really is. And I think in however many years I've been in business, there's only one bit of technology where I've just wasted my time. So generally, I'd say go for it. So what do you do next? So we have our weekly top tips for accountants. That's free of charge. Sign up, because why wouldn't you? We have the monthly Better Business webinars. Come along to those. It's half an hour once a month. Why wouldn't you? We have our monthly group coaching. So that's £100 a month or £75 a month if you sign up for 12 months. You still pay that monthly. We have individual coaching, which is £630 for an hour. And then we have loads and loads of courses. So go and look at the website, hudsonbusiness.co.uk/accountants. You can find the Numbers Business online, which you can do as a standalone thing, or you can do it integrated with the monthly coaching or individual coaching. And there are loads and loads of other courses. So like I mentioned, the pricing course and things like that. So go along, have a little look. Make sure that you've at least got the Numbers Business book. Scan the QR code and download a free copy. You should have that as a minimum. If you want a copy of Changing the Numbers, because you're looking to get into advisory, then just drop me a message. So Shelley, please can you I'll make a note of that. Shelley Priest. You want the MTD link. So that's it. I'm off to have some lunch. I hope that's given you lots to think about. I'll share the link in the group so that you can go back and watch this again and make notes if you didn't have a chance to. And I want to hear what you're going to do this week. So when I post it in the group, please let me know what you are going to be doing of it over the next few weeks, well, over the next 12 months. But what are you going to kick off first? So take care, and I shall see you next month for whatever our talk is. I should have looked it up, shouldn't I? I just got so much going on at the moment, but I hope that's been of some use to you. If I can help, then questions in the group for everybody, or just join the coaching sessions or whatever appropriate goes. So take care then, and bye.